Some of his supporters are still going forward with a rally here in the area. And I want to bring in one of the president's big supporters, Alan Menser. He is a local activist here in West Palm Beach who puts together a lot of pro-Trump rallies. Alan, good morning.
Good morning.
Were you disappointed that the former president canceled his news conference?
Well, a little bit, but we understand why. I mean, it's it's a legal thing that he's got to be aware of.
The idea that if the media sort of tried to box him in with some of their questions,
well, they're going to try to connect him to the whole J6 thing, which is completely a farce. So,
because when you look at his speech, he's been accused from January 6th of last year of inciting the riot.
Correct.
He did very clearly say in that speech that he wanted people to protest peacefully.
Correct. I was there.
And tell us what you saw when you were there.
I was on the front row of J6, and that's exactly what the president said. Peacefully and carefully, go and make your voices heard. Voices, nothing else. I wasn't an insurrection. I was baloney.
So what do you say to the people who say you're minimizing this? You're downplaying something that was a riot. Even Republican Ted Cruz is now saying he believes it was a terror attack.
I don't think that's the case. I really think that one of the things for us Americans is freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom to carry arms. That's what the Founding Fathers set us up for. To suppress that, to not release the information about the video of the 14,000 hours of what really happened. What do you have to hide?
So that's a just cause to stand up for freedom,
Correct.
Especially at a time when President Joe Biden is instituting policies that you and a lot of other Trump supporters are very upset about. That we can get into that.
Right.
But I wonder if what happened on January 6th, as you reflect on it 1 year later, do you think it undermines your cause of being pro-freedom when law enforcement officers, for example, at the Capitol were beaten up? Does that undermine your cause?
It doesn't undermine my cause, and some of us have some other information about Antifa and other people coming in there. What about the FBI plans? What about these unnamed people that they haven't gone ahead and done with? People are still incarcerated a year later, being charged with trespass, getting 4 years in prison. That's terrible.
Talk about that issue, because it's something that inflames a lot of people. The idea, if someone did something wrong, they should face the justice system.
100%.
But some people have gone without facing charges. They've been in prison. They've been jailed in Washington, D.C. In difficult conditions.
Correct.
For long periods of time.
Right.
Is this the America you grew up in?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Where is the justice in that? This whole Department of Injustice, I call it, is doing nothing more than political posturing. And it's terrible. My
colleagues Terrence and Jessica a moment ago in Colorado played a clip from Jen Psaki, the White House press secretary, and her framing of January 6th is that former President Trump abused his office and basically all but incited the riots. How do you react as a pro-Trump supporter, since we're not yet at least hearing from President Trump himself today? Maybe we'll get a written statement later. Maybe he'll make some kind of remarks, if not the news conference. How do you react when the White House press secretary uses that podium from the White House to say that he abused his office?
Well, they call it the bully pulpit for a reason. And I think Jen Psaki is a two-faced liar. Pretty much everything that's come out on the masks, the mandates, everything else, they flip-flop like a fish out of water. It's terrible.
Give us a little flavor for what's going to happen later today. We talked about how the former president was supposed to have a news conference 5 p.m. Eastern, just down the road on Mar-a-Lago. This is Southern Boulevard in West Palm Beach. His golf course is on the other side of this boulevard behind the bus in that direction. So he goes back and forth between the golf course and his private club where he lives. And so you typically gather a lot of people along this boulevard. What's going to happen this afternoon?
Well, we've got a bunch of people coming out between 4 and 7. Whether he drives by or not, we don't know. We'd like to think that he will.
He's done that before when he's heard that you're here.
Many times, many times. January 20th, when the president came back from the White House, we had 3,000 people here. For President's Day, we had another couple of thousand people here. So the people in the Palm Beach County area love our president. They love the fact that the Winter White House has been here. They love seeing Air Force One come in, and they would rally. And there's probably some people across from the golf course right now
waiting to see the former president.
Waiting to see him come and go.
Let me wrap it here, and we'll talk to you again later this hour as we get ready for the festivities that will be happening here, how you decide to mark this anniversary. President Biden, who you've already expressed your views, strong views about, is giving remarks in Washington in a short time. Is going to address the nation. I gather that what we're hearing before that is he going to attack President Trump directly, that he's going to name him
Sure.
and essentially blame him for January 6th.
Of course.
You can react to that. I want to give you a fair shot at that. But also, on this anniversary, how do you hope people try to come together? You're pro-Trump. We've got President Biden who's going to point the finger at Donald Trump. That might not help things. That might make things worse. Former President Trump's going to have his shot at President Biden. How do you hope both sides come together here about January 6th?
Well, I hope that there's a fair shake on the investigation. To appoint people like a Liz Cheney and take off a Jim Jordan, things like that, that's absolutely partisan. And we know this speaker has got it out for the president. Oh, she's praying for him. Really? Mm-hmm. Okay, fine. You go ahead and keep flapping those gums. I think it's a bunch of hot air. So if we did a proper investigation, if we had proper bipartisan representation, equal forms, if you will, I have no problem with that. But release all the video footage, find out who these people were in this alleged insurrection. I call it a freedom rally.
Alan, we appreciate you being here.
My pleasure.